archaeology in my undergrad. I'm not an archaeologist, but I am an artist, and I had a lot of media skills. So I had already worked as a documentary artist at Laboratory for Atmospheric Space Physics, and had decided that archaeology was my new love, and so I wanted to learn more about it, and the way for me to immerse myself is to actually participate in documenting it and learning as much as I can, because I get to talk to everyone. So I started off, I approached my professor, said, hey, do you need anyone to go with you to Oaxaca and start documenting your projects? He wrote me into several grants, and all of a sudden I was there. Throughout this time of documenting, I started my graduate research at the University of New Mexico, and I became really interested in, well, and had already been involved in dome technology, planetarium technology, and immersive environments, game-based learning, and kind of all the cool fun stuff. And I wasn't quite into 3D printing yet. So my last 2 years documenting on the archaeology field site, I decided to shoot photogrammetry and spherical photography so that I could use this in my research at University of New Mexico, at the Arts Lab, and the Immersive Dome. I was a part of a design kind of tech team there who pioneered real-time, like real-world applications on the spot in the dome. So like interactivity in the dome. Everything's pre-rendered in most domes. So that went great. And then I started this job at Extension as an extension agent. And so my job is really focused on K through 12, or even pre-K in some instances. And one of the first assignments I had on my job, and I just started my job in April, was let's do something for the county fair. Hey, and we have all this sand. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with sand? And I was thinking about all the assets that I had, and I had all these photogrammetry assets that I had used in this Unity game that I developed for the dome. But now I was like, hey, I think I could 3D print these, and there was a brand new 3D printer sitting in my office that I probably needed to use fairly soon to show my, appreciation of this awesome tool. So I decided to start printing the photogrammetry objects. So what I did was I set up a sandbox and decided that I would create an interactive kind of simulated archaeology experience for kids 5 and under. And it worked really great. Kids came and excavated the 3D printed objects. My husband was nice enough to paint them for me, since he's an artist, like a painter actually. And so, yeah, we buried these objects. We gave them some trowels and some brushes, and then I had pictures laid out and they matched them. So I tried to figure out what are the pre-K STEM skills that are needed so that I could build that in. So here's an image of, the game, and last night I showed some people the game at the ice cream social. That's all Unity, using the spherical photography and photogrammetry, and then talk to the kids about what photogrammetry is. How do you do it? So at the exhibit, not only did they have the experience of actually digging up the artifacts and pretending that they were archaeologists, but we also 3D scanned all the kids. And that really gave them this technology transfer. We had a 3D printer printing the objects. They were able to view themselves in 3D. And then they were also playing with the objects by, moving them around and matching them. So these are just some slides about how the project kind of came together. And then here's me at the fair with the kids. I put the pictures on the ground where they could reach them. And they matched the objects to the pictures. And it was very experiential and a lot of fun. So here's some of the STEM or STEAM standards that I feel were achieved for that grade level. And I actually had kids as old as 10 who had decided that they were there with their little brother or sister and they wanted to dig too. I found it was actually a quite encompassing project and lesson for all the kids involved. So Yeah, my interest is really designing lessons that would, you know, integrate all these cool, fun technologies I could play with.